I'm in a class where group presentation is a huge chunk of overall points. Everyone knows in group projects, you always have that one slacker who doesn't do anything and you have to compensate for them. However, I got stuck with possibly the worst two people to be in a project within the class. The rule of the presentation was that we couldn't have things 100% memorized word for word, and we couldn't read off of anything. We had to actually know the subject. In my group it was abundantly clear that they expected everyone else to do the work, but everyone else turned out to be just me. I did the entire thing. Research, presentation, poster boards, etc. among many other things myself. I tried talking to them and telling them they needed to put in their share of effort. Ignored. I'd send them tasks to do. Ignored. I'd try to schedule meetings at the library, they'd say they were coming but never came. This happened from the get-go. I was fully prepared for the presentation, I would do most of the talking. And I even wrote down a small script for them and told them to know what to say during their part, at the very least. The night before I told them we had to meet to at least go over the whole thing one time. Once again, none of them showed. At this point I'm livid and I decide they can just do it themselves, which means they'd get up there. Not know a damn thing to say other than the small info I gave them, and couldn't even make up anything because they did no research. Thing is, if we missed the presentation without an excuse, we failed the project. If you have an excuse, you have to have documentation. I commute and live an hour away. So I decide that I'll conveniently have a flat tire right before class. I actually bought a tire, so I could have the receipt to prove it. Mr. Hernandez, I'm so sorry that I missed the presentation. I got a flat tire on the way to school. I have a receipt from the car repair shop.
That must have been a very stressful morning for you.
Yeah, I was so stressed about the presentation and then I missed it. I'm so sorry. Is there any way I can do the presentation?
Come back after lunch and make the presentation yourself.
Thank you so much. It turns out my group completely bombed, and not only probably failing the project, but might even fail the class. I have to admit that I do feel a little guilt over this, so I have to ask, am I the antagonist for setting up my group to fail the presentation?